Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 292.
292.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Before you know it, Christmas will be over at the parks and on the Disney Cruise Line. Contact MEI Travel to book a Disney trip, especially if you're wanting to see like Illuminations. This is the last year of the holiday tag, and I think it's kind of a big deal. We just saw it, and it'll be interesting to see what follows next year.
Also, the Festival of the Arts, one of our favorite Epcot festivals coming up.
I know, in its third year.
And let's not forget the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Everything's coming, and definitely check with MEI Travel.
But it's still Christmas time. It's not even Christmas yet here.
I know, but it really is. I mean, for weeks we've had Christmas so far, and we're going to be talking about Disney's Grand Floridian Gingerbread House, and you can see when we were there, the tree wasn't up. It is now, but it just in the last week, I believe, it went up.
So this is the 20th anniversary year for the Gingerbread House.
Yeah, I mean, they really did it big this year. It was a much bigger ceremony. There were more guests watching.
Singing. We've never had a singer before.
And she was great. And then she went and sold treats in the Gingerbread House.
She was awesome, very talented. And here come Mickey and Minnie in their Christmas holiday attire.
And this is new for this year. I think I don't remember them in these costumes before, but we saw them then. I know they had been at the Magic Kingdom briefly in that. But they are with Pastry Chef Kristine Farmer, who took over from Chef Erich this year. Chef Erich he had been there for a very long time, and almost everybody will know who he is. But she's been under his tutelage for about 23 years, and so she has taken over the Gingerbread House.
And here we go. We're about to cut the ribbon for the official opening of the Gingerbread House, and that was very smooth. You'll notice the Gingerbread House is in a different location. I'm sure we're about to ask her about that.
Yes, and it actually is a better location. I thought they did a really good job with it this year. Not that they don't other years, but it really worked in this section of the lobby.
So anyway, here she is, Kristine Farmer, the pastry chef of the Grand Floridian. We're about to ask her just a couple questions about this year's Gingerbread House.
Hey, I'm Kristine Farmer, pastry chef at the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa.
And how long have you been pastry chef now?
Well, I've only been pastry chef a year. I have been under the tutelage of Master Pastry Chef Erich for the last 23 years. And this is his project, and he's now handed it over to me. He's retired, and this is my first year by myself, so it's a great accomplishment.
And what did you do this year? We have a different area here in the lobby. What did you do differently?
Yes, actually we moved it to the center of the carpet, still in the same location of the lobby, but more towards the center. And what we've done is increased the storage space inside, and we have added some more horticulture and a walkway, so it's more of an attraction now.
It looks wonderful with all the sparkles, the tree. I think it's a very nice location this way.
And this year we had a nice holiday song sung by a cast member, and we really try to add one more element every year. It is the same structure, but we always add a little bit more extra decoration every year. And now this year the traffic flow of the lobby will be so much nicer, because our guests that are trying to go to our dining rooms will not be bumping into the line for the Gingerbread House. So it's a great change.
Is there anything different like with the treats this year? The treats that you sell?
Oh yes, we added caramel pecan fudge.
Oh, nice.
And we have a combination box, so of those favorites like the shingle and the dipped Mickey ears, the peppermint bar, and a signature 20th anniversary ornament will be in there. And so for those people who love those signature items, that combination box will be perfect.
And will the shingle recipe remain the same?
Yes.
You aren't going to touch the
traditional Austrian recipe that my chef has provided, and we are sticking with that. Don't mess up a good thing, right?
Exactly right.
We're also offering a cinnamon apple cupcake this year. So we always try to change a little bit. We also have a cookie that is a ginger snack. So we do have those traditional favorites that everybody looks for every year.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And I just wanted to say, you know, that was really great that we got to interview her, but also this gingerbread house has 1,000 pounds of honey in it, and they show a video at the front while you're waiting for the dozens of treats that they sell, including the Stalin, which we like. One of the segments shows honeybees eating the honey off of the gingerbread, and I'm not sure exactly where it is. It's not right in here, obviously.
It's not outside in the grass. It's
right.
Somewhere else.
Right. They take the gingerbread probably from all of the houses on property, and the bees eat the honey off of it.
Very interesting. If you're over there, make sure to make time to watch that video. It's I guess it's brand new this year, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I don't remember it from before. It's actually a fairly long video showing a number of different segments about building the gingerbread house and more.
So now we are off to Epcot for the Festival of the Holidays. And here we have one of our favorite things, topiary. And it looks like Minnie has a new hat this year.
Yeah, you know, usually I think Mickey has a Santa hat. And so they're a little different this year. Mickey has a scarf, no hat. But, you know, it's always nice when they sort of change things up. I feel like Disney has refreshed a lot of things this year. And you have Bambi and you have Thumper and Flower, so that's very similar to previous years.
And Chip and Dale, two of my favorite, and I love the touch with the little Christmas hat.
And usually I think it's stitched back here for
years.
Other
years it has been, you are correct.
So Chip and Dale are from the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, so it was nice to see, you know, something a little different. And then you have Joyful will be taking the stage. We haven't seen them yet this year. And then Donald and Goofy are back. And I think Donald's hat is new as well.
Yeah, so it has a nice new look. And I like this. You're able to get in the picture. You can actually get in with the topiary and take a picture. They have a little path back there and a photo pass photographer, and there's a snowman, and we're going to meet Ralph and Vanellope, the stars of Ralph Meet the Internet, which we had just seen the night before.
And we did the Void.
That morning, yeah.
Right. So they have Ralph Breaks the Internet at the Void at Disney Springs, which was really fun. But this isn't the first time that Ralph and Vanellope have met guests at Walt Disney World. 6 years ago, they did as well, and it would have been probably October 2012. And now they're back with a little bit of a different look, but we've seen it already. They are in the Christmas parade and
the
Halloween parade, right? And they've been in those parades for a few years or so now.
But a very nice, backdrop with the digital, the ones and the zeros, and I see Ralph about to come out now. You know, last time they met, it was at Disney's Hollywood Studios in the former animation area, which now is a Star Wars launch bay. So this is a great place for them to be over here in Epcot. This area hadn't been used for a little while, so it's nice to see it utilized.
Right. The biggest question, the question I was asked the most is, who did they replace? But they didn't replace anybody. So you've got this, if you've seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, you know, you'll recognize the backdrop, and there is Vanellope coming. Again, they look a little different than the last time that we met them. I think this year got a little bit of a change to their look.
And they were great, excellent interactions, plenty of time. I really like this location, and it really wasn't that bad as far as a line. This is one of the busier days of the holiday. It's Thanksgiving weekend. I think it was Black Friday, and we waited less than an hour to meet them.
And I think in part that was because the movie hadn't been out yet, and I think the line will get longer. And we had mentioned the Void. That is the VR attraction.
Virtual reality.
Yes, over at Disney Springs. And so that was really a lot of fun. They started with Star Wars, and I believe that was about a year ago. But I really like the Ralph Breaks the Internet version.
Oh, it was fantastic. How often can you have this game where you can shoot pancakes at the little bunnies there and fill them up?
That was really fun. So I definitely recommend that if you're into the virtual reality. Go to Disney Springs. I'm not sure if it's at the same price all of the time, but definitely check it out online. Look up The Void and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
So now back to holidays at Epcot. There is the beautiful Epcot Christmas tree with Spaceship Earth in the background.
And I really like that view, but you also have this, and I think it's called a Spode teapot. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm saying it right because I don't have one, but I think that's what it's called. Plus, Chip and Dale are really sort of the ambassadors of the Epcot Festival of the Holidays.
And they're great. I mean, I love Chip and Dale. And here we are in France. And returning once again are the ornaments.
I don't think anything was really new in France, not that I saw. But I really enjoy these. These have been here for a number of years now. The Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, Really nice ornaments and very festive for this area. And definitely they have some really nice treats over here too.
And also Belle has returned with her Christmas dress. We didn't get to meet her because we had a lot going on. We're going to now show, though, the slow roasted turkey over at America, the American holiday table. Every year we always have to have the turkey since it's right after Thanksgiving.
A number of the different countries have holiday kitchens, and this is all we tried on that day. We had other things to do, and we actually went over to China with a friend and had actually lunch. But this was nice. I mean, I could buy, you know, a 15-pound turkey for, well, maybe a 10-pound turkey for about the same price during the holidays, but it was nice to try something, and I actually like turkey a lot.
So when these holiday kitchens first debuted a couple years ago, the portion size was huge. Each one was a full meal, and the price was higher too. But and this is more like something you'd see at a food and wine festival.
It was kind of nice having the larger portions, but I don't think that's what guests are looking for. I think they're looking for samples so they can try different things. We also have Santa Mickey on a stick, as is yearly.
Never better. Yes, beautiful view. And here we also have some nice decorations.
Snowflakes on a stick, yes.
Snow on a stick at the Norway. That's right.
We didn't really see any of the storytellers yet. We had about, a few hours, 4 or 5 hours here, and then we've been back for evening. But we went to check out the Disney Skyliner. I hate to say it, but it had been like 2 months since we had been at Epcot, in part because of Paris.
Oh, outrageous.
In part because of that, but also just because so much has been going on at like the Magic Kingdom and elsewhere. So this is my favorite park. Epcot is, and I can't believe that we're going to make up for it.
We're going to make up for it. Let me tell you, though, this Skyliner has progressed so much in the 2 months since we've been there. I mean, look at this. You can really see where the cable's going to be. They've cleared out all kinds of trees, and there is the France Pavilion, and you can see where the Ratatouille attraction is going in the back there.
Right. I mean, you really can see that now. And at Disney D23, they said the Skyliner is scheduled to open next fall. So we're looking at probably a year from now. Maybe it could be a little less, but they didn't give an exact date or anything.
Well, this week, the big mystery, the biggest question of all about the Skyliner was officially answered: no air conditioning.
Right. And I mean, we kind of knew that. I mean, that has been the going thing, is no air conditioning. So
it's been officially clarified.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. So now we're at Disney's Beach Club Resort, and this is one of the highlights of the year also for me and for you probably.
Oh yeah, more gingerbread goodness, but this time in a carousel form, and there's hidden Mickeys everywhere, and there's a theme every year. It's just beautiful. I wish that we had smell-o-vision that we can kind of pump out to the viewers here.
Anytime. This is Disney's Beach Club Gingerbread Carousel, and every year they have 4 horses, and there's usually a horse off of it as well. This is the 19th year. And here are all the ingredients. And you'll see the theme here is kind of a Donald and Daisy. And as Jeff said, it really smells, you know, the lobby smells so much. Yes. And so after it leaves, it's like, where's that smell? Because I miss it. 2 of the horses, one of them is named Donald, the other Daisy. I'm not really sure where the other names come from, because it used to be that all of the horses' names were more of a theme until a couple of years ago. So it might just be names, you know, it might not have any meaning at all. But if you look at like Daisy Duck, her 3 nieces, April, May, and June, the gifts are to them and to Donald. And on Donald's horse, it is to Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then to Daisy.
I love the storytelling. Every year, it's, as you said, something like that. I bet you there are reasons behind all these names, and our viewers will probably tell us what they are.
I don't know, there may not be any, so for anybody to say. I would think more that the Yacht and Beach Club pastry team, if any of them end up watching this, it would be nice to know. But Donald and Daisy are also the toppers on here.
There were a few years where there was no topper,
right.
So I really like to see that tradition continued, and as you said, there they are, it's Donald and Daisy.
And last year you had Scrump on top because it was more of a Stitch theme to it. And in other years, you might have had, I think maybe Mickey and Minnie were
Cinderella
on top.
One time.
So it's just changed through the years. So it's always fun to see what they come up with. It's always very unique and creative.
And I see Ginger here. Ginger Snaps.
No,
that's a
Ginger
Jungle Cruise reference there, but a very beautiful horse.
And generally, this horse would be Beach Club. Often is like Disney's Beach Club theme. So, like she says, I'm assuming Ginger is a she. It says like Disney's Beach Club Resort on a couple different areas.
So I think if you look very carefully at the snow, you might see a familiar design coming up.
Right, and you see Mickey, and it says on the sign that there's 19 hidden Mickeys, but I don't think they count some of these. Like, there's actually quite a few what I would refer to as hidden Mickeys, including in the snow.
Yeah, it's just awesome. I really love this. You can buy shingles in the store, which are a completely different type of shingle than you get at the Grand Floridian as far as taste and everything else.
Now, Disney's Grand Floridian has my favorite as far as the shingles, especially with the chocolate on them, although we bought the Stalinbread first this year.
Oh, the Stalin's so good.
But you can also get gingerbread over at the Contemporary Resort.
And just a very quick look at the Yacht Club tree, and you can see it's perfectly themed with the boats and all the yachts and things. It's just beautiful. If you get a chance, definitely check it out.
And now we're looking at the train display. They call it a Christmas Village, and this has been here for years. And I think that the train display may have been over at Disney's Wilderness Lodge because they had a train there in the 90s, and then all of a sudden, like at some point, the Yacht Club had one, and I've heard that it might be the same. But on this side, the side we're on right now, it's mostly Department 56, and it's just about all Disney. On the other side, it's a Seaside Village, which is totally not Disney.
Well, what it's nice about this, every year there are changes. So over the, if you go back, look at the pictures over the years, you can see some of the different displays. And I'm not sure, I think last year they debuted the Frozen scene.
Right. And well, in the last year or two, Frozen started. I don't remember the Ice Castle. So, every year there are some changes as far as especially the Department 56 figures because we're more into Disney. I notice it changes with that. I haven't noticed as much the changes with the Seaside Village. There's so many details. Like you could take 1,000 pictures of this and just not get everything. And the one thing also that we're not seeing yet in the display is that while we're looking at Frozen and, Wandering Oakens, if you look at the different signs, they represent, like Ship Shape is the fitness center at the Yacht and Beach Club, and Cape May Cafe is a restaurant there. So you'll see signs for almost everything, including at least one that is not still there.
And you're seeing a little hidden Mickey in the snow, and this was new, Dumbo there.
Right, and Dumbo, I think that's a Department 56 as well. There are so many fun details in this. Like Santa has always been down there, and you've got kind of that gumdrop look. But it's always fun, and they kind of move things around. They did a lot of moving this year as far as some of the Department 56 figures.
Well, here is one of my favorite little figures that has been there every year, and this gets me a little nervous because this could be our life this next coming week.
Oh, no, there's no snow in Paris.
There's already been snow.
There has been, but during our trip coming up, it's supposed to be in like the 40s and maybe even into the 50s.
40s. No shorts, no shorts needed.
But no snow either. So also the Yacht Club Galley is on one of those signs. So it's really kind of fun to look for all that.
So now we're going to jump over to Santa's favorite resort, the Swan and Dolphin, the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Resort.
So what we're saying is that the Yacht and Beach Club, not Santa's favorite resort.
No, not at all. Because his favorite, clearly, according to that sign, is right here.
So there's Candy Cane and Mrs. Claus. It used to be that they had a tree lighting here. It's not a tree lighting anymore.
It's a snowing.
It's a snow, right. They conjure up snow. And the lobby was redone last year. I mean, it's beautiful, the Dolphin lobby. They really put a lot of money into the Swan and Dolphin. And here comes Santa. They're vacationing, Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Oh, yes. Here comes Santa in shorts. He is having a great vacation. He was telling me that earlier today or that day, he was playing golf with Goofy.
Was he really?
That's what he said. That's right.
Anyway, we really enjoy this meet and greet. It is not every night of the season. So check there. If you look up Santa's favorite resort, hopefully the calendar has changed to 2018 by now. Generally, it's weekends is when you can come here and meet them.
Yeah, and you can even chat with Santa himself, and there he is. We got a nice picture with him. And again, he was telling us all about his day, how he's so relaxed playing golf. I guess he said Goofy was even ahead, which is unbelievable. Oh. Santa needs to brush up on his golfing skills.
Apparently. And you have the life-size chocolate display also with Santa.
Talk about smells. It smells amazing in that lobby.
And this hasn't changed too much in the last few years, although I think some of the ornaments are a little different this year. They added the Nutcracker maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, and it really does. It smells like chocolate. So if you like the smell of chocolate, just walk into the Walt Disney World Swan Hotel.
You know, we'll have to talk to the chef. I think it's time to bring Mrs. Claus into this scene.
The scene, or Candy Cane.
Or Candy Cane,
or
yes.
Both.
So as per tradition, this is the day after Thanksgiving, and we are heading over to see the Candlelight processional.
And this is what we do every year. We focused a little differently this time. We have a friend, Mark, who's in it. His partner and a good friend for about 10 years.
Very good friend.
Named John Krowski, who has also been on our show once.
Episode 52.
We don't normally have guests, but he was. He passed away this past week. But Mark wanted to continue on and sing in the Candlelight this week. You have Cheetah Rivera here. The Candlelight we had like 20 friends who were there. And I think there's something about going to Disney when it's really a sad time also that makes it also, I don't want to say a healing time. In a sense, it
was a healing time, and it was a perfect setting because John loved this. He loved every year he would always do this, and we would see Mark sing every year that he was in it, which was most years. And it was really nice to see everybody and get together, and it was awesome that Mark was able to do this.
And so many of our friends know John because John was in D23.
He won the very first D23 trivia contest at the first expo. He won a cruise. He won a cruise, remember?
No, but yes, I do. Nobody knows or knew. It doesn't
He's
matter.
the
Either
trivia
way,
master.
He knows more trivia than anybody I know. I am terrible at trivia. But anyway, the Candlelight was wonderful as always. I was so glad that we could all be there and, with Mark singing and everything. It's hard. This one was really hard.
Oh, it's one of our own, I mean, look at how we had so many great times with John. That's John there. And he loved the characters, and we always had a fun time getting together on special events. I think this was one Halloween we all went to the barbecue at Fort Wilderness, backyard barbecue.
We got like a really great deal on the backyard barbecue, so it was like, let's go. And had a really great time. And what was he showing to Miko here?
He was telling Miko he had acorns in his bag. So and you'll notice Pocahontas and Mark are looking on. So that's the kind of time, and just this recent Mickey's Very Merry, they hung out with us, and we just had a great time. And at the end of the night, I just sat and chatted for a good hour. So that's the kind of person. This is Dumbo, the very last day of the original location of Dumbo, and there we all are with Dumbo. So just a little tribute to John.
I'm glad, in the last couple of weeks, definitely I've got to see him a few times and talk to him. So that was really nice. And, but anyway, it was nice. It felt like you're honoring him by being here. And
he loved this too. He always enjoyed the Illuminations, Let There Be Peace on Earth finale, which we all saw together.
And this is the last year for it. I mean, it really is something I'm not ever sure why it's peace on earth, but it's like the most fireworks you'll ever see at one time. But it really is.
You see the birds? Even the birds were scared.
But this is really just always amazing to watch. And I look forward to seeing the Peace on Earth tag, a number of times more before the end of the year. But thanks for, listening to us as we're talking about John, because he really meant a great deal to us.
Yeah, he was really family. I mean, we would spend Thanksgiving with him and the rest of his family every single year. Every year since I moved here to Florida.
Well, not only his family, but all our friends. So
all friends that we got to meet and become friends with because of him.
And I mean, we were going to have 22 this year, so at least we were able to see everybody on this day. And it was sad, but at the same time, it was really nice. And you can see fireworks too in the background. If you come on certain nights, you can see. I think this is from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Oh yes, the fireworks in the distance.
Holiday Wishes, and there are times you can see also the fireworks, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam fireworks. If you're over by France, you can see those. So there's so many fireworks depending on when you're here at Epcot that you can see.
So with that is another show.
That's another show. Thanks to our sponsors, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We really appreciate their sponsorship this year. We are supposed to be heading to Paris as we're speaking tomorrow. Not only do we have John this week, but my dad the next day went to ICU. So, it's always touch and go. But right now, that's still the plan as I'm talking.
Yeah, we don't usually talk about real life
No.
stuff, but sometimes it creeps in.
Well, it's more, I mean, this week has been all about that pretty much, starting on Tuesday. So, but right now we're looking forward to Paris. And we have never been for the holidays. It's supposed to be cold, but not snowy. They did have snow last week. Probably like between 30s and low 50s is what we're looking at as far as temperatures.
So hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be back next week with a full report from Disneyland Paris and all the Christmas doings out there.
Yes.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. We'll see you all next week. And then this show is dedicated to our good friend, John Karowski.
Yes.